Stuka series of ground attack planes, along with the so-called Jericho trumpets attached to the fixed landing gear, were one of the more iconic propaganda symbols on the Axis side of World War II. The Mosquito, on the other hand, was one of the fastest British aircraft of the era, boosting the Allies' fighter interceptor abilities with a side order of light bombing duties. Together, these two planes represent the all-rounder aircraft of Battlefield 5, sitting firmly between the multi-seat bombers and the single-seat fighters. The Stuka has a distinct advantage here, as both the B1 and B2 variants have a rear gunner seat. In the case of the B1, one that can actually be upgraded to a heavy machine gun, although its traverse is fairly limited. You'll need nerves of steel in the face of danger, coupled with a skilled and dedicated passenger if you want to get any value out of it. In fact, dive bombing is such a unique method of ground attack, it'll probably take even you keyboard and mouse warriors a good few hours to master the art. Just as it was in the real world, dive bombing is incredibly dangerous. It doesn't take much to have an aileron or elevator knocked out on your way down, and if you haven't switched out your auto repair for the wing repair specialisation, you'll be in a lot of trouble. You'll be glad to know that EA DICE didn't go overboard on the realism here. Most of the Stuka variants that saw operational service had to forgo up to half of their payload if the pilot wanted the insurance of a tail gunner present. Another discrepancy that shouldn't bother you too much is the Stuka's manoeuvrability. I haven't picked up any discernible differences between the B1 and B2, but throughout Germany's Eastern European campaigns, attack squadrons generally had a heavy fighter escort. They weren't designed to be used like a BF 109. The Mosquito's light weight and its high manoeuvrability and speed would have left Stukas, which were very range limited before the addition of a vulnerable external drop tank under the wings, very much wanting in the air-to-air department. In Battlefield, however, they're almost better than their British counterparts in a fighter role, and it's because of that rear gunner seat. Rarely will random squad mates spawn in for much more than a taxi ride to a distant objective, leaving you as a pilot to immediately, and I do mean immediately, to switch seats and engage. There were so many variants of the Stuka throughout its relatively short decade in service that it'd be kind of silly to expect the developers to accurately include specifics. In lieu, they've incorporated the various features from A series right up to G at the end of the war into the B1 and B2, with various specialisations. The closest real-world inspiration I could find for the super heavy bomb on the B1 is the 850 kilo torpedo, or Lufttorpedo LT-850, which will hopefully be upgraded with submarine capability as Battlefield 5 expands. The 37mm board cannon actually began its life as a ground-deployed flak cannon, modified into a magazine-fed underwing gun pod with 12 armour-piercing rounds per side. You get 60 in this, and that was present on the Stuka D3 and D1. Even the Jericho trumpets were eventually removed from the fixed landing gears when it was thought their propagandist effects on Allied soldiers had worn off. First flying in late 1940, the DeHavilland DH-98 Mosquito was one of the fastest aircraft in the world, owing in no small part to its mostly wooden construction. Now you might think that such an engineering decision would be more appropriate for the biplanes of the Great War, or Battlefield 1, but innovative operational tactics combined with the armouring of key parts of the fuselage saw the Mosquito become highly effective in a very wide variety of roles, particularly get in and get out fast strike missions on military intelligence and other ground targets. They even managed a raid on Berlin in 1943 that destroyed broadcasting equipment being utilised by Hermann Göring nearby. He was giving a propaganda speech celebrating the anniversary of the Nazis' rise to power in the Weimar Republic. Humiliations just like that one led the Luftwaffe to form fighter squadrons dedicated specifically to countering the threat posed by the Mosquito, but eventually German technology did render the speed and manoeuvrability advantages of these British aircraft moot, but by then the Allies had already achieved air superiority even on the mainland, and Mosquito tactics was still incredibly effective. Now, it's both a blessing and a curse that EA DICE seem to have forgotten about those advantages. Out of the gate, the Mozzie is no faster or more manoeuvrable than the German Stuka, although its control surfaces can of course be improved through specialisation. On the flip side, they haven't taken any classes in materials engineering. There are no discernible differences in the craft's vulnerability, either in terms of overall HP or the strength of its wings or its engine. Now, that's not to say there's definitely zero difference in structural integrity, but if there is, it's minor enough that you won't notice, nor will it adversely affect your performance should you be dumped on the Allied team. As for its armaments, the Mozzie comes with 4 nose-mounted 303 machine guns and 4 light bombs. You'll probably struggle to kill any vehicles in a single pass, particularly with the noticeable lack of a bomb sight hindering your accuracy in first person, but they're quite good at blanketing objectives under attack by the enemy. They can be replaced with 8 RP3 rockets that fire in pairs for ground attack, although it should be noted I have been taken out mid-air more than once by some of the more capable battlefield pilots. Another unfortunate design choice, by EA DICE, not DeHavilland, is the final specialisation limiting you to only one of either 4 Hispano 20mm cannons, 2 50 cal heavy machine guns, which operate in addition to your standard 303 guns, or the aforementioned rockets. In reality, the rockets were actually combined with the autocannons in ground attack variants, and it would have been really nice to be able to specialise your Mosquito in this role. Now, there's also no option for a super heavy bomb, which I guess would have been an 1800 kilo bunker busting cookie, quote unquote, if they were going for realism. But well, you can't win them all. And there's always a chance they'll add this feature down the track. In the meantime, you can have equal amounts of fun on both sides of the battle, toying with any number of specialisations and roles for Battlefield 5's attack planes.